Alright, so let's start with a quick weekly recap. This video is going to be raw, little to no edit to it, just some cuts, and that's going to be it. So this week I got funded from Apex. I got a 50k funded account, and this is the trade that got me funded, the one that you're seeing here. So after 2 or 3 trades that I was doing, micros on Bitcoin, they said you can trade up to 100 micros, which is true, but not for cryptocurrencies. So I decided to switch to NASDAQ, and I was trading NASDAQ after that. So, and since the account was only $18, I didn't have much to lose. I decided to enter with 3 contracts here, and I was up about $400 already on the funded account, and decided to just, this was a high conviction setup. I'm just going to quickly run through it. So we closed above this order block, and then we had these 3 nice down candles here. We were on 1 hour fair value gap. I was bullish on this day, so everything will align perfectly. We were inside New York session, and I decided to enter here on this order block. So decided to enter there, and I kept waiting. Price was bouncing around. I was planning on closing, I think on this third candle here, because the 1 minute was looking a bit bearish, but I decided to hold my conviction, and the pattern that I was playing was still valid on the 5 minute. So I decided to wait. This right here, this line right here, was when I moved my stop loss to entry. So if price was to go here, then that would mean that the price action would be bearish and we could potentially go lower. So that ended up not happening, and I kept holding the trade up until these highs right here, and I closed it a little bit earlier because I already hit the profit target. So the account was showing that I was at 53k. I exited immediately since it showed that, but there was one small problem. I didn't account the fees. So I was down, I think, $100. So I was at 52,900. And then I just opened up a position real quickly, decided to do a little bit of, let's just say, gambling, just to, just to hit the target and then close it again. And I ended up passing, as you can see here in the certificate. So that's it. I then took another trade, and for this one, we are going to TradeZella. Okay, so we are now at TradeZella. I'm going to run you guys through this one. The reason I'm at TradeZella is because for some reason, TraderVet doesn't show the executions for past days. I don't know if it's in the settings or something that I need to do, but yeah, I'll just show it here because it's way easier. So we are trading micros because it's better for risk management. And for this one, I was doing the 1 minute chart. As you can see, we broke these lows. So these lows were broken, and then we broke this again, and we created this fair value gap here. So I decided to enter, and I was a bit bearish on the day. And just give me a second. Since I was bearish, but we already had this nice down move here, I decided to have a conservative stop loss. So my plan was to enter here, a stop loss here above these highs, and then I would see how it would react on these lows right here. If we reacted nicely, then I would have expected even lower prices. So my initial target was this low right here, which gives me a 2-to-2, which is fairly good. But after this happening, I was expecting like a really nice sharp move down, and price was kind of hanging around this area and hanging, and since we were near these lows, and this was not really a high conviction trade because I usually don't put stop losses that higher, I just decided to close it on this area near these lows because price could just revert back, which ended up happening. But I guess the correct way to manage this was wait for this candle, and then if it closes above this, you exit it out for a small profit. Yeah, low conviction on this one, so I just decided to exit it earlier. So the next one, this was a high conviction one, and it was taking on a 5-minute chart. So if we go back here, this was the trade, this was the thesis right here. So there's this order block that formed, right? There was this fair value gap that was inverted and then respected. Oh, if I just put it like this, there was this order block here, this fair value gap that was inverted and then respected, and there was this order block here. So what I was waiting here was for price to have an initial reaction down, respect this fair value gap, which it did, and then I was waiting for a candle to engulf this and make this an order block. Soon as I saw this close, this upwards close candle, I decided to enter on longs. So the risk for this was 250, and I was targeting these highs here. So because we had this untested order block on the 15-minute right here, I think, yeah. Because we had this untested order block on the 15-minute, for me this was an area where price could go back down again, and I decided to take partials and move my stop to entry. Then I saw this reaction here. We kept chopping around it, and two reasons: I needed to go to the gym, and I didn't want to babysit this trade for another 2-3 hours and potentially miss the gym and a few handles away. So I decided, okay, I'll just take profit here. Another reason was that it could just front run me and then go back lower. So for this entire move right here, as you can see, I took profits at 4 p.m. I would have need to babysit the trade up until 7:15, just for it to reach a few extra handles and maybe make me $50 more. So for me, the risk to reward on waiting on that was just not there, so I decided to exit it earlier. So that was it for the Apex account. I'm still trading the other account too, but this just giving me better results. I'm enjoying trading Nasdaq.